27 minutes to the top of the hour. Smart means a business. I'm Andrew Barigi, and definitely joined with Marcy Katima as we're heading into business, entertainment, and sports. But of course, let's first have an update from the sports with Marcy Katima.
Welcome to Sport Business, and of course my name is Marcy Katima. I'll be taking you through what is happening in the world of sport business. And of course, as you know, as we await the AFCON 2027, you all know that Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania are going to be hosting it in 2027. And of course in Uganda, so far so good really. The Nambola Stadium, 90% work has been done. And then, of course, Night Football on Friday, we shall be giving you more reports on that on Saturday in the Sports Zone. But anyway, so far for Uganda, so far we have our main stadiums, the ones that are renowned, almost complete. One is complete, the other is, left with a few works. But anyway, reports coming in from Tanzania. Tanzania has also been working tirelessly to see that they have something for themselves, given the fact that they have most, actually Tanzania, if you compare Tanzania, Uganda and Rwanda and Kenya, Tanzania has most of the playgrounds, all the stadiums, I must say. And of course we expect an opening, most of the football games to be in Tanzania, because they have a very number of them. But of course Uganda will be majorly having training grounds, which is going to be easy because there is air transport, so definitely that won't be any convenience. Well, of course Tanzania here, the facility in Zanzibar is one of the stadiums tabled by the Tanzanian government for the joint hosting of the 2027 African Cup of Nations AFCON, along with Uganda and Kenya. Well, of course, the renovation works of Aman Stadium, that is in Zanzibar, have been rounded off with the installation of floodlights. Yes, we also had challenges with the floodlights, in Nambole. I don't know, they get spoiled so easily. And of course, we saw Chitende also working hard to have their floodlights set upon. Of course, it's also going to be one of the stadiums that is going to be used in the AFCON 2027. Well, of course, the facility in Zanzibar is one of the stadiums tabled for the Tanzanian government, like I had said earlier. Well, of course, Zanzibar's chief government spokesperson, Charles Hillary, was admired in the stadium's magnificence under the headlights, floodlights. Well, of course, here he said that they were at Amani Stadium in Zanzibar at night, and the view is attractive because the floodlights have been installed. So for some games I think will be in the night. So there is also a need for floodlights. I remember when we were also hosting the CAF games at one point in Uganda, when Nambole was still a thing, when it was still functioning very well before the floodlights died. It was quite brilliant because the last game actually happened in the night, where Uganda managed to win. Well, of course, this is, in simple words, the stadium is now ready to host any match, and that is how the stadium will look at night. Like you can see right there, the floodlights right there, you can see all the colors. Not these things of saying you're colorblind. There is green, there is, or maybe I could be colorblind, but at least I saw a green right there. And of course, it was announced during the 60th anniversary of Zanzibar Revolution that was held right there. Well, of course, and even Mipenduzi Cup tournament will be played at Aman Stadium. And now it is a joy to all the people in Zanzibar. Yeah, people are going to say, let me hope the facility won't be ruined by the time it clocks just a few years, 3 years from now. Of course, aside from the main stadium, two other astonishing venues outside have also been decorated with floodlights. As you can see right there, even away from the stadium itself, other places, there is need for lights. There's a lot of robbery that happens. People are strangled because, there's a lot of space. So there's a need for floodlights for such matches to take place and people can see clearly. Yeah, and well, of course, Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya beat Botswana, Algeria, and Senegal to win the bid of the 2027 AFCON. So that is what is happening so far in Tanzania. Zanzibar, the renovation of the floodlights was complete, as you can see right there. Yeah, there is a lot of view. You can view directly on what is taking place, though the renovation is not finished that yet, but the floodlights, well, it's going to be useful for those that are also finishing up with the renovation right in there in Tanzania. So hoping that 2027, all the three nations are going to be ready. And who's going to take it all? Is it Kenya? Is it Uganda? Is it Tanzania? Because at the end of the day, we need an East African representative to take the trophy of the AFCON 2027. Well, away from that, we had talked about how Uganda is, working hard to promote young talent, and we've seen very many academies coming to Uganda, and most people investing more in sports business, mostly for the youth, because they're young, they're vibrant, they have the energy, they have the zeal. So why not create a space or an academy where they can actually do co-curricular activities? Yeah. So this is Dolatera Football Academy that is in Ruero, and it is destined for a bright future revolving a mere village face to the international figure. Well, of course, this is a man that has come up and says, you know what, I need to do something for these young talents in Uganda. And of course, named after the Spanish citizen Lashi de la Torre, the academy found its establishment 5 years ago, dating 2018, as you can see. Right then, of course, at the end of last week, Lashi de la Torre came to Uganda and found his way into operational officers of the project. He has given a hand for a year. Well, of course, here he looks forward to building the biggest modern sports academy with modern facilities. Yeah, we're talking about enhancing for people to understand the beauty in sport. You know, it earns people money. It's not just about playing and just winning. No, people have earned money. People want to be like the Cristiano Ronaldos. People want to be like the Stephen Currys, the basketball, the richest basketball player. I mean, you want to be earning millions of money out of sports. So it's not going to be a leisure thing. Yeah, so that is why most people are investing in sport, because these people out there actually do understand that Africans have a lot of talent. If you've seen some football clubs have black people, not to be racist, but then because they have, they work, so definitely it is. Of course, we're here to see what Chelsea is going to choose between Victor and Tony. Is it going to be the Nigerian or the Barcelona player? Let's see the beginning of next year how it's going to be, if Mauricio is going to make the right choice for his team. Well, of course, still in this report, Lashi Donatella further revealed that his first plan is infrastructure, very key right there, and staff development in the academy, which is important. Infrastructure is very important because people want to have an environment where they can, be secure and play and have that feel of being in a good environment. Of course, firstly, a modern infrastructure is to be commissioned, having games and training pitches, video rooms for analyzing games, hostels, and a school to help us keep the project children together. So it's not gonna be only for sports, but it's gonna be like a school, an academy, like you hear in academy. People have a dormitory or hostels. They can, do other than they can learn. Actually, as you remember, PE, actually, we used to learn on the board as well, the formations and all that. There's also learning in sport. It's not about, you just go and run through the pitch. Well, of course, during an exclusive interview with us, Donatella said that his first time in Uganda was in 1997. Yes, 1997, that is 26 years ago. And of course, sports is a center of peace of Ugandan life and a subsector that has ability to influence a greater future to the young population. As you know, Uganda is full of young population, like a huge percentage is full of young talent. And recently I saw a scenario where someone was stealing things off the truck. You can imagine. People have nothing to do. So how about you come and find purpose in playing ball? If you have a talent, go to a certain academy, they have you recruited, and you'll start playing for. You never know, you could be joining the big leagues, like some of the Uganda Cranes that I've seen representing us out of Uganda. Well, of course, Lashi Dolatelo also vowed to turn Dolatelo Football Academy into Uganda's breeding ground to great athletes in football, basketball, then we have volleyball, athletics, and tennis. So it's going to be a huge series of very many sports, not only football, but basketball, volleyball, athletics, and tennis. Because, I mean, these are young talents. Not everyone is into sports. Some are into basketball, some are into athletics, some are runners. And of course, for Uganda, we're known for running. At least in athletics, we know. At least for that one, we know. So, definitely, that is how we're going to be progressing in this Dolatelo Football Academy. And of course, it accommodates only 3 age categories, that is 11, 13, and 15 years. So above that, I don't think you're going to be able to join this academy. So it's for juniors, the age 11, 13, and 15. Those are active ages, by the way, very active and decisive ages. So if you take up a child around that age, at least they can grow with a certain foundation on what they want to do in life. Well, that is it for our sports business. Just in case you joined us, Aman Stadium in Tanzania, that is specifically in Zanzibar, has actually renovated its floodlights, and of course still renovations taking place. But then if you could take a look at the floodlights, it reveals the whole beauty of how the stadium looks like. And of course the Dolatelo Academy set to be a training ground for youth, mostly 11, 13, and 15 years of age. Well, Andrew's going to be taking us through the entertainment business.
Heading straight into what is happening in the world of entertainment. Today I decided to take a trip back from the beginning of this year 2023 as we take a look at quite a number of entertainment events that have happened, that is globally, and these events have actually had an impact on Uganda's entertainment industry, the commercial aspect of it all. But of course, before I get into the list, I would love to discuss talk about the Fiasco tour, that is for Taylor Swift, which was a very outstanding aspect there, where she was actually able to make a movie out of it, and it became so famous that it topped the charts when it comes to the box office. So what does that teach you? As a Ugandan artist, you can actually use your concert tour and develop a simple movie, a simple documentary. This can be very inspiring to the people, the musicians that are coming in generations to come. And it's also an avenue of getting to understand how you can make money, not only from the concert sales and tickets, but also when you decide to make that concert a movie, and you earn from the ticket sales and the box office ticket sales at the same time. So that was strategic. The same, it reminded me of Justin Bieber's Never Say Never, the tour where he made the movie, which also made a massive rounds. So Taylor Swift broke the record by selling more records than what Justin Bieber actually sold at the time. Well, as we get into here, we had mega concerts and festivals. Of course, we have the Coachella. There was the Coachella that is in California, United States of America. Actually, this is one of the big events right there in the United States of America. Now, the 2023 edition saw a record-breaking attendance and buzz. That is due to headliners like Beyonce, and of course, when you hear the name Beyonce, you know who next follows. The Blackpink, of course, Now, the beauty about this is that Ugandan artists like Maker and Shiba were featured on Spotify's official Coachella playlist, potentially opening doors for future collaborations. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that a beautiful thing? I guess it is really a very beautiful thing. I mean, being opened onto the Coachella playlist, you just have no idea the people that actually visit that list. I mean, not only people from Africa, but we see people from various continents, from Asia, from Europe, and the United States of America itself. So that is all. And once your song is located in a list which people check out so many times, chances are high that they will land on it, even if it's by accident. A certain Russian person is out there and is going through the Coachella Spotify list, is landing on a Shiba Karunji song, is landing on a Maker song. He's definitely, now whether he likes it or not, that's exactly upon him. But once once you click it, that means the stream is counted. So that means the revenue for the artist is increasing. So this is what we've always been talking about for artists, that we should stop relying much more on the concerts, because the COVID-19 showed us that concerts are a little bit unreliable. But at least people were home watching music, movies, so they were streaming literally, and that showed the rising age of the streaming, the rise of the streaming age rather. Then we had the Wireless Festival, that is in London, the United Kingdom, and this is a UK grime and hip hop. Grime is a kind of music that is so fast. I think you know it. It's a UK-based kind of a music. Now, the UK Grime and Hip Hop Festival featured top artists like Stormzy and Burna Boy, and a Ugandan rapper Navio's presence on the lineup definitely sparked up conversations about Ugandan hip hop reaching international audiences. And of course, reaching international audiences definitely means money. You know, people are going to stream this money. I mean, in the Western culture, people are used to buying for everything that you consume. It's not a free culture like we have in Africa. But of course, I don't blame us. Sometimes the standards of living dictate a lot people's behavior in the country. But that was a very insightful, the Coachella Festival, where we saw our Ugandan artists, Maker and Shiba, their songs featuring on the Coachella playlist, Spotify's official Coachella's playlist, and the Wireless Festival in the UK, London, which features grime music, fast music, and the rappers, the likes of Stormzy were there. And the beauty of it that is that Uganda was also represented by Navio, the Ugandan rapper, and that means money. And of course, it's opening up a market for his music into that particular sector. Now, we've had trends in terms of the streaming wars and trends that have been happening still since the beginning of 2023. Now, sorry. The beauty here is Netflix's Squid Game phenomenon, actually, which happened. It went so viral. The Korean survival drama's global success highlighted the power of streaming platforms to introduce new cultures and trends. Now, in Uganda, it fueled interest in Korean content because of, the streaming wars fueled the. If you realize that actually there has been increased demand for Korean content in Uganda, and so that really speaks out a huge amount on that. And now this is also influencing filmmakers. You know, if Korean content can get the interest, why not the Ugandan content? So that is something to really look into. And also 2023, we saw that the rise of Afrobeats and music, Afrobeats and African music, most especially there is this new kind of a music from South Africa, I've forgotten the name, Amapiano, which actually generated, this year it hit about $1 billion sales. I mean, I'm talking about global sales. That shows you that, hey, this is quite huge. And the rise of that, of course, Burna Boy's with Burna Boy's kind of attached to it, Burna Boy's Grammy win and the continued popularity of artists like Wizkid and Davido cemented Afrobeats in the mainstream genre. Of course, Amapiano has always been there, but it's 2023 where its record sales hit $1 billion in terms of sales. So that is quite something to celebrate. And now we saw some bit of technological advancements and virtual experiences. Now, Travis Scott broke a record as a result of this, as of course platforms like Fortnite and Roblox hosted virtual concerts, of course Travis Scott and Ariana Grande, while the metaverse is still in its early stages, and such experiences could also be very key in terms of inspiring Ugandans. I mean, doing a concert, virtual concert, Travis Scott and Ariana Grande really broke the record, and we saw the possibility that we don't care what comes ahead, we don't care what kind of pandemic comes, hey, we shall still make the money and make these concerts, and people will pay for them actually, because people are idle. If people are locked inside, what they're thinking about is simple: watching movies, and they're paying money for those movies. So they are paying, money is coming in. So we've seen all these trends that have been happening since 2023, and their impact on the Ugandan entertainment scene, and it's quite very impactful. Let's wait for, probably we could feel this impact 2 to 5 years from now. Regarding that, but the big aspect here, there is increased exposure of Ugandan artists like Navio, Shiba, and Figfa Maker and Shiba featuring on the Spotify's official Coachella playlist. Navio being part of the UK festival and is rubbing shoulders with the likes of Stormzy, and of course coming in down to potential for technology adaptation. With Ugandan event organizers venturing into, let's try a virtual concert one day and see how it can work out in our country, Uganda. You never know. It's good to get prepared in case we don't know what is likely to happen in the next few years or months. We never know. Well, that is it from the business, the entertainment, and sports. It's 4 minutes, so that's of the year. Let's take a quick break, and we're returning back with our topic of discussion about strategies on maximizing sales during the holiday season.